UFC 320 has just taken place, and this is my reaction to the entire card. So there were 14 fights, 8 finishes. This might be the best main card that we have seen all year. But let's start right away with the main event. Alex Pereira knocks out Merab Dvalishvili in the very first round, and he is now light heavyweight champion again. Yo, Pereira is top 10 all time. I don't want to hear anyone tell me he's not. Former middleweight champion, 2-time light heavyweight champion, multiple title defenses, has beaten Ankalaev, former champion, Strickland, former champion, Adesanya, former champion, Jiri Prochazka, former champion, and Jan Blachowicz, former champion. This guy's above Khabib all time. He is easily inside of the top 10. Yo, where the fuck was this performance first time around? Like, Pereira must have been fighting the Grim Reaper before he walked out to fight Ankalaev first time around. Like, he must have been an inch away from death, because what a difference in performance. Like, completely different performance. Great game plan from Pereira, and this is a game plan that I think a lot of strikers need to try and implement when they're going in there against people that have the grappling advantage over them, have the wrestling advantage over them, and that is be the aggressor, put the grappler. I know Ankalaev is a boxer, but he does have a grappling background. He does have a grappling advantage over Pereira. He is a wrestling threat. He used that wrestling threat in their first fight to be able to set up his striking and outstrike Pereira first time around. Yes, Ankalaev predominantly is a boxer, but he does have high-level grappling. But Pereira instantly put Ankalaev on the back foot. Yo, first time around, Pereira must have had his hands fucking super glued to his waist, because this fight, he let that shit go. He was throwing heat at Merab Ankalaev, catching him with big shots. Yo, as soon as Pereira landed the inside low kick that made Merab Ankalaev switch to orthodox, yo, the fight was instantly over at that point. First fight, Pereira could not have any success at all with the low kicks against Merab Ankalaev. This time around, he lands one inside low kick, and Ankalaev is switching to orthodox. But the pressure from Pereira, Ankalaev really did not deal with it well. He took a big right hand from Alex Pereira, panic shot a takedown. Pereira was able to free him off him, stuff the takedown. I thought maybe Pereira was going to disengage, but he done the right thing by staying posturing up in his guard. Yo, 12-6 elbows might be the biggest cheat code in MMA. Yo, why were they banned for so long? That strike is needed in the sport. The 12-6 elbow to the body that Pereira landed to Merab Ankalaev, yo, that was crazy. And then to come up top with the 12-6 elbows, that there, what a yo, Pereira showed like that the difference from the first fight to the second fight is fucking insane. Yo, I could not believe that. I picked Ankalaev to win the rematch like a lot of other people, purely because it wasn't as if Ankalaev out-grappled Pereira first time around, so if Pereira worked on his takedown defense, then he might be able to win because it would be on the feet. Ankalaev outstruck him first time around, and I see a lot of people saying Ankalaev quit, or Ankalaev's the worst champion in UFC history. I completely disagree. Ankalaev is one of the best light heavyweights right now. I don't see how he's the worst champion ever. I just think a lot of people are hating on him. But what a performance from Pereira. Does Ankalaev get his rematch? No, definitely not. They didn't want to give Ankalaev the title fight first time around, so they are definitely not giving him a trilogy fight with Pereira after being stopped in the first round. But yeah, what a performance from Alex Pereira. Also, Ankalaev needs to be given props for his chin, because he took big shots that would have folded people in there against Pereira. And yes, he was hurt, but took the shots well. And maybe a misjudgment in shooting for the takedown. Even though he was hurt, he maybe should have maybe just clinched with him, grabbed onto him. But again, easier said than done. And if he had secured that takedown against Pereira, that would have been huge. But yeah, Alex Pereira stops Ankalaev in the very first round. 2-time UFC light heavyweight champion. Does he move up and fight Tom Aspinall next? Personally, no, I don't think he should do that. Moving on to the co-main event. Yo, is Merab pound for pound number one? Serious question. This guy is the greatest bantamweight of all time. It's not even close. It's not up for debate. If you say Dominic Cruz is above Merab or any other bantamweight, you suffer from severe brain and ass syndrome. Yo, Corey Sandhagen done a good job though. Arguably took 2 rounds maybe. He had a good 4th round, good 1st round. Corey Sandhagen was obviously well prepped for this fight. He had good cardio to keep up with Merab, especially when Merab shot 37 takedowns in there, secured 20, but he didn't get any control really because Corey Sandhagen was constantly getting back up to his feet. Now, as the fight went on and Corey Sandhagen did kind of fatigue a bit, you could see he kind of came out of his shape. What I mean by that is Corey Sandhagen and his team had obviously drilled into him, that not to be so straight up, be down, be compact so you can stuff the takedowns, and he'd done a really, really good job of that in there. Again, like I was saying, when Corey Sandhagen did this, he had a lot of success against Merab. Be the aggressor, put these guys on the back foot. Now, the problem with Merab is when you are being the aggressor and you have to be aggressive and let shots go, it is tiring, it really is. Also, being on the back foot is tiring as well, constantly moving backwards, but being the aggressor, being on the front foot, letting stuff go, fighting at a high pace, that's kind of what you need to do with Merab. Put him under pressure, crack him with shots. But that's hard to do when Merab literally has the greatest gas tank in MMA, probably in sports history. This guy might be the best endurance athlete ever because 37 takedowns is insane. 399 strikes he threw in there. But yeah, Merab is... Honestly, I think Merab's above DJ all time. I think Merab's above Anderson Silva all time. I think this guy is pushing on for top 5 all time. That's how good this guy is. Dominant. Yes, Corey Sandhagen maybe run 1-2 rounds, but nobody came away from this saying, Corey Sandhagen was robbed, or Corey Sandhagen, he really gave Merab a really hard test there. I think everyone was like, Merab is just the best. The way he's able to get... the variety of takedowns as well, like when he gets that body lock, dragging you down, tripping you up, the single leg as well, nobody is beating Merab. Also, the fact that his striking is really improving. He caught and nearly finished Corey Sandhagen in there. Great performance from Merab. I think they will do Yan next. I know everyone's crying out for the Umar Nurmagomedov rematch, and I do want to see that, but Umar has to beat Mario Batista before we even start talking about that. Corey Sandhagen, unlucky in there, put up a good fight against Merab, but Merab is just different. Merab's just different. Nobody in this division is beating Merab, in my opinion. Unless you somehow catch him in a choke or knock him out, you're fucked. You need to put this guy out, not like catch Merab with a shot and he's stumbling all over the place. No, you need to fucking knock this guy out. Marlon Moraes suffered from this as well. He caught and hurt Merab, couldn't finish him, and then Merab just fucking stopped him. He is the best bantamweight of all time. Arguably pound for pound number 1. I honestly wouldn't argue with the UFC having this guy pound for pound number 1. I think there's an argument to be had. Great performance from Merab. Jiri Prochazka, Khalil Rountree. This is how legends are made. Let's go for that. Joe Rogan, Daniel Cormier, the whole commentary team tonight. See next time Khalil Rountree's fighting, take his fucking dick and balls out of your mouth. Now, Khalil Rountree had a really good first round. Really, really good. Stayed really composed in there. Landed... Khalil Rountree's just looking to explode in and land big shots. And Jiri, he's very tall. He kind of leans back. And Khalil Rountree just couldn't reach him, if you know what I mean. Like when Khalil was coming in, Jiri was out of the way and he was constantly brushing off his chest or hitting him in the arms. Although Khalil did land a really nice left hand to the body that hurt Jiri Prochazka. Can't remember if that was the first round or second round, but it left a big welt on Jiri's body. Big left hand landed. But Khalil Rountree had a really good first round. Also had a good second round. The commentary in this fight literally wanted me to fucking rip my own ears off. You've got them going... Jiri's footwork looks a bit funny in there, man. He doesn't have his foot in. He's not... Khalil is so technical. He's technically so much better. And then in the third round, Daniel Cormier saying, Jiri Prochazka doesn't want to be in there and brawl with Khalil Rountree. What the fuck are you watching? And then when Jiri is on getting his post-fight speech, Joe Rogan's like, your movement in there. You were critiquing his movement the whole fucking fight. What the fuck are you on about? But yeah, Jiri Prochazka dogged out Khalil Rountree. Also, that was another thing. Khalil Rountree went 5 rounds with Jamal Hill. He's not going to tire. He gassed in the third round. And this is the thing. Khalil Rountree went 5 rounds against Jamal Hill. 5 rounds at his pace. He was able to dictate the pace of that fight. It wasn't a high-paced fight at all. But Jiri Prochazka, that teep that he was throwing, the off-timed kick, money in there. This guy is just pure entertainment. Such a tricky style to figure out. One of, if not the most durable guys right now on the roster. Took crazy shots from Rountree in there. A lot of the shots, though, did whiff and hit him in the chest. But he did take some clean shots in there. Aura farming the whole fight. This guy took a fucking knee against Rountree for BLM and got back up and knocked him out. That's the level that Jiri Prochazka was on in that fight. Jiri caught him in the third round, tired Rountree out. Rountree was gassed. It actually looked like Rountree didn't want to be in there near the end because of how tired he was. Jiri, just those knees to the body work, that left hand. Oh my God! Rountree face down on the canvas. That fight is what I wanted it to be. That fight delivered. I knew Jiri was going to stop Rountree. Rountree is good and he has improved. He is overrated though, in my opinion. People are saying he's going to knock out Jiri. Jiri leaves his chin in the air. Jiri's not defensively sound. Who is Rountree knocked out cold? The Anthony Smith performance, he hurt Anthony Smith, yes, but he didn't knock him out cold. Made him do the chicken dance, yeah, but he didn't knock him out cold. He doesn't have that one hit type of power like a Jiri has. And we've seen it time and time again with Rountree. I know he's improved, but the guy's lost the likes of Johnny Walker. Go back, he isn't the best light heavyweight. He isn't the best light heavyweight striker either. I just think he is overrated. He had a good performance against Alex Pereira. Toughed it out in there. Against Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill might actually be the worst champion of all time. But yeah, Jiri busted him up, shut up that eye of Rountree and put him out cold. What a fight. What a performance from Jiri Prochazka. Moving on down the card, Josh Emmett versus Yusuf Zalal. Bit of a weird one, a verbal tap from Josh Emmett, but Josh Emmett is very predictable in there. Constantly looking to explode and land that big right hand left hook. Yusuf Zalal done a really good job of staying on the outside, moving about, timed a really good takedown and instantly got to work and got to the armbar. That was a really impressive performance from Yusuf Zalal. Moving on down the card, Abbas Magomedov, Joe Pyfer. Like I said in my predictions video, Joe Pyfer has got underrated grappling. Round one, Joe Pyfer he was the one that initiated the grappling with Abbas Magomedov. Abbas Magomedov did out-grapple him in the first round. Abbas done a really good job round one, but that's typical for Abbas Magomedov. He done good against Sean Strickland in the first round, but he does fade. I kind of feel like Joe Pyfer being the one to initiate the grappling was a good idea because Joe Pyfer does have sneaky grappling, and grappling is so draining on your energy. Especially when Abbas doesn't even have a really good gas tank anyway. It was a great game plan from Joe Pyfer. Obviously, he probably didn't intend on being on the bottom position, but still, Joe Pyfer lands the big right hand in the second round, hurts Abbas Magomedov, gets the submission win. Joe Pyfer is really good in my opinion. The only guy to ever get a hair transplant and then shave it all off again. But good win, good submission win for Joe Pyfer. Again, showing off his grappling, which is an underrated part of his game. I know on the feet he hits hard, but he is a bit of a overhand right spammer. But he does have really good grappling. Not a lot of people talk about that. Moving on down the card, Teba Gautier versus Trayson Vines, or whatever you call that guy. He just didn't want to be in there at all. He took the fight because it gets him in with the UFC. Teba Gautier needs to jump up in competition right now. I know you want to build him up as a star. You've given him 2 cans now. Let's build this guy up. I'm not saying he needs to be ranked or he needs to fight a ranked fighter, but let's get him against someone who was on this card. I'm going to talk about that in my next video, matchups to make. But yeah, Teba Gautier done a good job. Vines was kind of running around. He was scared to be in there with Gautier, let's be honest. But Gautier defended the takedown well, landed a big knee. Joe Rogan thought he knocked him out with a push when it was the elbows to the side of the head. Threw him off him, landed big shots. Teba Gautier done a good job closing the distance, but it's time for a jump up in competition. Let's stop feeding him cans. This isn't the PFL. Daniel Santos versus Joe Sang-yo. South Korea is never going to have another Korean zombie again. Got too cocky and got caught. Good performance from Daniel Santos, although he missed weight. So send him to the PFL. Patchy Mix is the worst UFC signing of all time, I think, with the hype that he had going in to the UFC. Lost again, back-to-back losses. Get his coat, get his purse, you're going back to the PFL. Edmund Shabazian against Andre Muniz. Good win for Edmund Shabazian. This was a tough test because Andre Muniz, yes, isn't the best striker, but Edmund Shabazian's cardio is a bit shaky, and Andre Muniz has really good grappling, which I thought could have been a problem as the fight went on, but obviously Edmund Shabazian gets it done first round. Penali Serrano versus Vretnikov. I'm not even going to try and say his first name. I'm shit with names. Yeah, this fight was ass. Penali done a good job. Got the win by decision. Moving on, Macy Chasson versus Yana Santos. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I didn't waste my time watching this fight. Chris Gutierrez versus Farid Basharat. Boring fight. Chris Gutierrez doesn't have that dog in him. He's happy enough to be on the back foot. Farid Basharat maybe needs to... They need to have this guy sit down more in his punches because... not much damage coming off that guy there. Ramiz Brahimaj versus Austin Vanderford. Surprised me. I thought Vanderford was going to out-grapple him, but Brahimaj got the submission guillotine. I swear this is back-to-back guillotines for him. Surprising upset win. And Veronica Hardy got the win over Brogan Walker. Again, not going to try and pretend that I watched this fight. I didn't. But yeah, overall, UFC 320. Great card. Probably the best main card of the year. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I will see you all again in the next one.